Hey there and welcome back to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. My name is Tori Solis and today I'm going to be throwing with a new clay body, Laguna B3. This is an iron-rich clay that fires a nice black color and is notorious for being difficult to glaze. This week I experimented with throwing with a laser level. The level ended up with dead batteries before the end of my throwing session. I decided ultimately that I don't want to use up a bunch of batteries and I'm comfortable living in the land of close enough when it comes to throwing these cups and mugs. I'm not making dinner sets. Things don't need to be perfectly identical. I don't consider perfection in identicality a part of my practice or my efforts in creation. So essentially, I haven't thrown with a laser level ever again, and I don't think I will unless I need to make something extremely specific. I don't take commissions, so it's unlikely that I'm going to need or use the level again. But not impossible, because sometimes I do get wild ideas. It for sure isn't something I'm going to use in my daily practice. This clay is a deep, dark red when it's wet, and it will stain everything in your life. The color of this clay comes from iron and magnesium in the clay body. Your hands, your clothes, your couch, your dog, all of it is going to have iron stains on it if you bring this clay into your life. A lot of people I've talked to avoid this clay body for this reason. And I get it, cleaning the studio after throwing and working with this clay is a whole event. It can ruin your tools, especially if you normally work with bright white clays such as porcelain. The chances of getting a cross-contamination between this B3 and the porcelain, if you have them in the same studio space at the same time, is pretty high. For me, this isn't a problem. I'm here for this messy disaster clay, and I find it's well worth the sacrifice. As someone who generally has paint on all my clothes and a general disinterest in keeping my clothes pristine, this is all fine. If anything, it adds to my personal aesthetic, so I welcome the iron-stained clothes and orange skin up to my elbows. This clay fires black in oxidation. I haven't fired it in reduction. Laguna says it isn't recommended that you even fire this in a reducing atmosphere. I'm not sure what would happen if you did, but I don't have a gas reduction kiln to find out, so it will remain a mystery. If you do fire this clay in reduction, let me know what happened. I'm interested. I'd like to know. This clay is known for being difficult to fire. It is noted that it's going to bloat at cone 6, like Laguna says that. So I'm going to fire this clay body to 5, like with a 5-minute hold. This clay body was actually banned from my college because they had it melt down once in their kiln and create a giant mess. Like, I guess they overfired it and it turned into a puddle. I wasn't there for that, but I'm going to take a wild guess that that kiln was crazy overfired for that to have happened. This clay does need to be bisqued to at least an 0.4 to burn out a majority of the organic compounds that are in the clay body. It's suspected that many of the bloat and glaze issues caused by this clay is from off-gassing of chemicals during the glaze fire. Essentially what happens is the clay has stuff trapped in it and that stuff burns out and it becomes a gas, which is, air gas. If this happens under the glaze in a glaze fire, it can cause pinholes, bloat, blisters, and other glaze surface issues. If it's overfired, the raw clay body, like just the body of the clay itself, can blister and boil. To hopefully avoid most of these issues, I'm going to bisque to cone 0.4, and then I'm going to glaze fire to cone 5 with a 5-minute hold. B3 is, of course, notoriously difficult to glaze. In general, most dark colored clay bodies get this reputation. This is partially because of the negative effects caused by off-gassing, and also because of the color of the clay body itself. Instead of a white canvas, you have a black canvas. Transparent glazes are going to have a black base, and they may look totally different. I strongly encourage you to make test tiles before you commit to glazing any work that you really love that's made with this clay, especially if you've never used that glaze on any kind of dark clay body before. Definitely run a test tile, specifically run it on the B3 because results are sometimes completely unexpected. In most cases, honestly, there's a high percentage that it's going to look really awful, but sometimes it looks okay, and there are several glazes that work really well in their own unique way. Some glazes get unique effects that really shine on a dark clay body, but ultimately you're going to have to run some tests. I've really enjoyed the experience of throwing with this clay. It has some grog, but compared to other grog clays, it isn't incredibly rough on my hands. I would say that it is lightly coarse. Just a note here, the shrinkage rate from Laguna for this clay is 10%, which isn't bad. It's easy to do the math on. This clay is easy to control when you're throwing it, for me anyways. It didn't take much water to work with. For these I'm throwing a bunch of just tumblers, mugs, and some bonsai pots. This Sunday, I'm going to post up the series review of this body of work, so we'll be looking at completed work and doing like a personal overview and a little bit of personal critique on that work. If you're on my Patreon, the video for the series review was released on the same day that this video came out. If you'd like to help support my channel and gain early access to my videos and get first dibs on my ceramics, you can find me at patreon.com/bluenosetrading. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, guys. If you'd like to see a weekly art video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. I post a new video every Friday at 5:30 Central Time. Remember that you are important and you have great ideas. Be sure to drink enough water. I will see you next week.